Who can tell us, summarizing, how can the teacher make use of assessment? How can we use assessment for motivating the educational process? We have two kinds of assessment. How can we make use of them as teachers? Well, just mentioned. This side. This side.
Check the student comprehension.
Great.
Checking for understanding.
What do you mean by comprehension? By the way, you can work in group. It's okay.
Understand.
Great. How can, another one, next to it. Miss, what do you teach? Miss, how can, great. How can the teacher, okay, the second point.
Are used for grading and promotion and on the next grade.
Please will mind listening to each other. Please. Now.
Are used for grading and promotion on the next grade level.
So summative, to move from one unit to the next. Okay? Thank you. Why assessment? I mean, why assessment is so important. It's a process to show students learning. So those who have the concept of the period as lecturing, you will not have any feedback about your student performance or student ability. Understand? So it's a process to show students learning, whether they understand or can't understand. Assessment is important because it does happen ongoing classroom work, during working, informing the students about learning goals. That's why assessment is so important. Can you manage a period without assessing your students?
No.
Of course not. And we agreed about the different levels. By the way, how many workshops did you attend with us? That's why. I'll tell you something. In the first workshop, we said that we have to divide. Great. Group A, for example, we will divide them into groups. Why? The first student, for example, is excellent. The second one, little bit. The third one, and so on. But we will not divide, Muhammad, come, you are excellent. Abbas, come, you are not excellent. No. Just we will divide without giving them any justification, unless we want active learning. We want collective work. Please don't inform the students, why did you divide the groups like that? We will destroy their inner feelings. Never forget that you are dealing with minds, not bricks. مش هينفع. لا ما ينفعش لسبب. Would you mind giving me a chance to complete? Dividing the groups will be according to the students' levels. Of course, the level varies from each subject to the other. حضرتك عربي صح؟ بقسم المجموعات حسب المستوى. يعني بالتاكيد الجروب اللي حضرتك هتقسميه مختلف عن مس الفرنش، مختلف عن مس الانجليش. انا شاطر في الانجليش وبلاطه في الماث مثلا، فطبيعي عند مس الماث هتحطيني في جروب يكون فيه اكسلنت ستودنتس، عند حضرتك هتجيبي معايا طالب ضعيف وهكذا. بس ما ينفعش ابلغ الطالب او البيت انت مستواكي تعبان هنا. لا هم دول اللي هم عاوزينه، لكن انا بقول انا بقسم وفقا ان انا عايز اكتف ليرنينج، عايز تعلم جماعي، ما بقولش بقى فلان مع فلان. لا
حتى لو الاهالي سالوا ما مش غير انه
الاهالي ممكن، بس ما اقولهاش بنتك زفت، ما ينفعش.
عشان ما تكونش
لا لا احنا بنقول وي ديفايد. جزاك الله خير. شكرا جزيلا. احنا when it's a great question, would you mind listening to our colleague? She asks, when should we divide our students? Immediately following the first week. So significant question. We will divide our students immediately after finishing the first week. Why? Because during the first, انتوا بتسألوا بتتكلموا. احنا حسبناكم ولا ايه؟ البويز مش بيتكلموا. اسمعوا بس. We will divide them immediately after finishing the first week. Why? Because during the first week we plan to make comprehensive revision. The aim or the goal of this, first to make refreshment to our students, then to be able to classify them according to this week. So starting from the next week, we will divide them according to your diagnostic test that will be held only in core subjects, English, math, and science. Okay? And even the non-core subjects, اللي هي المواد الغير الانجليش والماث والعربي, you can test them without informing your students that I'm testing you to classify you into levels. No. We have dependent, we have independent tracks. Depend on them to classify your students. Did I meet your question?
I mean that one group will be all smart student and another group also will be
Each group should have different levels. Okay? ما اقول لكم فكره جميله. ايه رايكم اللي عندها سؤال تكتب وفي اخر الورك شوب نجاوب؟ عشان انتوا بتضغطوني ونيجي على الساعه 1 وانتوا عارفين اللي بيجرى الساعه 1. ف because احنا we have a practical part still we have to practice. What do you think? Just right. You want paper to write your questions? Because my main concern today to practice designing the assessment together. Thank you. Please let your students listen to, let us name it, the rosy words. Thank you, appreciate it. No. Please. Yes, it did happen, wallah.
Sometimes after break maybe we'll say that. After break duty.
Do you remember my famous saying? If you want to judge someone, sit on his or her place. Remember why you were a student. You suffered a lot, I think. Again, let's continue the importance of assessment. Building learners' self-confidence as learners. Of course, we try to build their character. We try to instill the culture of self-confidence on the minds of our students when we test them and they feel that they are so appreciated. I've got 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10. How? Great. Good job. Great. Building learners' self-confidence, so assessment helps you build your student self-confidence. Learners' results create lifelong learners. This is one of our Yes, this is one of our missions Sentence is to have lifelong learners. Once we are assessing, they will study continuously, so we will have lifelong learners. So formative assessment create lifelong learners because they will learn to be asked daily, ongoing. Learners' results are descriptive feedback, of course. If you want to describe your student's ability to understand, assess him. And the assessment will give him clear feedback about his level or his performance. Okay? Who can summarize what we have discussed? Again, one of the important aspects of assessment creates self-confidence, gives clear and descriptive feedback to our student, creates lifelong learners. Great. This means you will assess your students continuously, without stopping. But when you assess, put in your mind, we are dealing with human beings. And, I said we are one family. What I discussed to me before you. We should be honest enough. Never mislead your students. Okay? We are not at work. We are at school. So, demonstrate the piece of knowledge and assess these pieces of knowledge. Don't go beyond to ask yourself. Otherwise, you are dealing with creative thinking questions. Okay? Assessment is a process of obtaining. Once we are explaining, just keep an eye to our objectives. The kinds, the importance, we are here, still here, talking about the importance of assessment. The assessment is a process of obtaining information to make decisions or viewpoint about the importance of assessment.